You need to move away from that flag immediately." The words cut through the airport noise like a blade, delivered by an airport supervisor whose authority wavered in his voice. His fingers trembled near the casket wrapped in red, white, and blue. The uniformed guardian stood unmoved. His white-gloved grip remained steadfast on the folded fabric, posture rigid as steel, gaze locked straight ahead in complete silence. Every traveler within sight had frozen mid-stride. Whispered conversations died instantly. The atmosphere grew thick with an unnamed weight that pressed down on everyone present. There at Terminal Gate 42B, an invisible battle had begun, fought not with weapons but with principle. "I told you to back away. That cargo isn't yours to touch," the supervisor barked again, his voice climbing as he waved security personnel closer. The depth of his misunderstanding was profound. Complete silence persisted. Then the Marine's voice emerged, steady, deliberate, as though these words had been carved into his soul through years of service. "Sir, with complete respect, what you see here isn't cargo. This is a United States Marine, and my watch doesn't end." A TSA official pushed through the crowd. "Listen, we've got procedures to follow." "You're holding up everything." The Marine's head turned deliberately, his eyes meeting the agent's with unwavering intensity. "Procedures exist, yes, but so does honor." The stars and stripes lay in perfect formation across the wooden box behind him. Every stripe aligned, every star positioned with precision. Underneath rested Corporal Jake Morrison, fallen in combat at 23 years old. He would never walk through his front door again under his own power. Jake wasn't simply another name on a roster. He was his responsibility, the young man he'd mentored, the soldier who'd shared his laughter, the same Marine he'd supported through treacherous Afghan terrain when Jake had injured his leg during reconnaissance. Today marked his final act of carrying his brother home. Military command had designated him as official escort, a holy obligation. No exceptions, no interruptions, no moment where his connection to that casket could be severed from aircraft to family. But this transportation hub operated differently. Schedules were falling behind. Baggage required processing. Terminals needed clearing. What significance could one more container hold in their conveyor system? "Sir," the supervisor pressed again, irritation bleeding through his professional mask. "This facility isn't designed for memorial services. You either comply or face removal." He might have elaborated. He could have shared the sacred code, the ancient tradition of protecting fallen warriors, the solemn vigil, the respectful salute. Instead, something far deeper anchored him in position. Images cascaded through his mind. Jake discussing home, his mother's famous lemon dessert, weekend fishing adventures with his father, his younger sister's graduation ceremony that deployment had forced him to miss, Jake's habit of humming that old country song after each operation, claiming it was his internal compass pointing home. This wasn't a simple transport. This was a final farewell. The only barrier between remembrance and oblivion was his unwavering presence. Suddenly, an innocent question pierced the mounting confrontation. "What's that man doing with the flag, Mom?" A tiny girl, barely 6 years old, gripping a small stuffed animal, had slipped through the gathered crowd. Her mother tried to quiet her, but the Marine glanced down with gentle acknowledgement. "He's ensuring someone makes it home safely," he answered softly. The supervisor's confidence cracked. Security personnel hesitated. Something fundamental was shifting, as if the true cost of freedom was finally registering with everyone present. The Marine leaned forward slightly, his words barely audible above the terminal's hum. "This individual sacrificed everything. This flag represents more than fabric, it's our nation's promise." With that declaration, he began moving forward, measured, purposeful. His grip never loosened from the casket. He initiated an honor procession through the concourse, not because airport administration granted approval, but because sacred duty requires no permission. Observers rose to their feet. Baseball caps were removed, palms pressed against chests. A disabled veteran raised his hand in salute. Emotion streamed down faces throughout the terminal. Movement ceased entirely. Mobile phones appeared not for entertainment, but for witness, Someone's voice lifted in our national hymn. Others added their voices, and there, within a busy transportation center, the world paused in reverence. When they finally reached the waiting family at the departure gate, perspiration had soaked through the Marine's dress gloves, his back screamed. With fatigue, his voice felt raw, yet his resolve never faltered. The mother's composure shattered at first sight of the casket. The father's salute trembled with grief. The sister fell to the floor, whispering through tears, "You're home now, Jake." The Marine maintained his vigil in silence. Only when the moment felt complete did he carefully release his hold on the flag, creating the traditional triangular fold with practiced precision. Kneeling before the grieving mother, he placed the symbol gently in her waiting hands. His final moments weren't spent in isolation, he spoke quietly. He was cherished, he was celebrated. As he returned to standing position with every witness, observing in respectful silence, the airport supervisor, now visibly moved and fighting back tears, approached with hesitation. I failed to comprehend," he admitted in a broken whisper. "Please forgive my ignorance." The Marine offered a single, understanding nod. Understanding has arrived. Recognition erupted throughout the terminal, not boisterous applause, but thoughtful, reverent acknowledgement that rippled along the walls like a wave of awakening. In that transformative instant, our nation's memory was restored. If this account resonated with your heart, please subscribe to our channel, show your support with a like, and share your thoughts in the comments section below.